And welcome back to another edition of the On the Board Sports Podcast. I am your host, Will Trucci, a.k.a. Will C., coming to you from Long Island, New York. Again, quarantine, got the gym in the background over here, but what can you do? But it's a very special episode today. We're getting guests like crazy going on, man. It's absolutely nuts. But I'm joined by the one and only Sabino Curcio from the Growing Up Italian podcast. Sabino, it's been a long time coming. Thank you so much for coming on.
Man. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Can't complain. Trying to just one day at a time with this whole thing right now, you know?
That's all we could do, man.
Absolutely. So, Sabino, I know you do your thing with Growing Up Italian, and I know you're very avid and intimate with your whole podcast. So let's start up there. How did your podcast start up, number one? And number two, you own a panini shop.
Yeah, sandwich shop in Williamsburg, Brooklyn.
How long have you been doing that for?
My dad opened a business 25 years. I've probably been involved last 14, 15 years. Full time. That's
good. Okay, so you're helping out your business. That's good. And how did the Growing Up Italian podcast start up for you, bud?
So shouts to my cousin Rocco, my sister Michaela. They started the page, and it started off as a meme page, just posting funny memes. And then we posted Italian videos once Instagram allowed that. And then they were talking one day that they want to start a podcast, and I was like, I'll help you guys with that. And then I basically been doing podcasts since. It was all a learning experience. We never thought it would get to this point,
Absolutely. And, you've had on a couple of guests. You're very close with New York Nico, it seems,
That's
going
my
out
guy,
there.
yeah.
And you're doing it with him, and he's become big. And,
I can't believe I watched how much he's grown.
Yeah.
Right in front of me. It's awesome to see. I mean, I've seen so many people blow up, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just dope because when you see the vision, you're like, oh, wow, this kid got it. And then it actually happens. It's just reassurance,
Absolutely.
You know that you're doing the right thing.
Absolutely. What's been your favorite moment of doing the podcast and even, just doing everything that you're doing with Growing Up Italian?
Me and Nico actually did a fundraiser. I don't remember when it was. I'm trying to think of when it was. It was a couple of months ago, though. Maybe within this year, and we donated the money we raised, we donated to New York City Homeless Coalition.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of cool to do with Nico, actually collab on that. We're always looking at collab on doing events like that, but who knows the next time now with this going on,
Yeah, absolutely. And, with everything going on in the world, it's just absolutely heartbreaking to see just people getting sick, and then a couple of days after that, just passing away. It's just absolutely unbelievable. So,
yeah.
I know you mentioned to me that you're a New York Mets fan, and Mets this off season. I know baseball hasn't started, but with
J-Lo and A-Rod.
Yeah, J-Lo and A-Rod. Probably gonna buy the team, but it's been a crazy off season. Okay, they go out, they hire Carlos Beltran, then a couple months later, they fire him because of what had happened with the.
Was it even a couple of months? It was probably less than that, right?
Maybe a couple of months for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it goes on a couple of months. He gets fired. Then they go out. They hire their new manager. From your perspective, what's going on with the Mets?
To be honest, we need new ownership. It's been like this for years. The Wilpons won't ever take that last step to complete the team. Look at the Yankees. Even though, I'm not a Yankee fan, you got to respect that their owners and management will do whatever it takes to win, spend every dollar, whatever it is. The Mets, unfortunately, there was years where they just didn't make it because they were too cheap. You know what I'm saying? They just skipped the step, signing that last guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, I know.
So that's why, we were all excited when Cohen was supposed to buy the team. And then the Wilpons said, yeah, we still want to manage it for 5 years. Just sell the team, man. And same thing with the Knicks. I'm a Knicks fan too. So,
And to
yeah.
just stay with the Mets here for 1 second. Who was your favorite player growing up during that time? Because there's two Italians that were
Jose Reyes.
Jose Reyes,
Yeah,
not Mike Piazza,
well,
not John Franco,
Piazza too.
not John Franco either, the captain.
Franco too. I mean, those guys. I became a Met fan because of Piazza.
Right.
But like, in that time when the Mets went to the Subway Series against the Yankees, I was 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And that got me into baseball. But then like I really watched Jose Reyes like every day.
Right. He was such a flashy player, and he knew how to play, and he had that brilliance about him.
One crazy year with his like batting average was 350 and the 50 stolen bases. Like he had a crazy year. So
yep.
I mean, that's when I was a big Jose Reyes fan.
I think that was the year that he wound up winning the batting title in 2011.
Yeah.
Wound up leaving.
Yep.
Going to Miami for that big contract. I remember that.
Good for him, though. I'm happy he got his money,
Yeah, absolutely. You can never go out there and
we were talking, like, all us Met fans were just mad we lost him for nothing, like, if you're not going to re-sign him at the deadline, trade him to a contender and get some pieces for the farm system,
Mm-hmm.
But one thing with the Mets, we never do that. We never, like, sell big, you know what I mean? Like, we're always a step behind. Like, look at the Yankees when they sold Chapman to the Cubs and then got Glaber.
Yes.
Like, we never get lucky like that. So,
one day it'll happen. One day it'll happen.
I don't know. Maybe. I'm starting to give up.
No, come on. Keep the faith. Always believe, man.
I got a funny Met story, too. In the 2015 World Series, when it was like the game we got eliminated, Harvey was on the mound. I'll never forget. I bought like a standing ticket, and one of my friends got me like to the M&M deck, and like everything was free there because like a party there that everybody paid for, like some corporate thing. Right. So we're drinking beers, peanuts, hot dogs, everything, and like we're lit. Harvey, like everybody's cheering for Harvey to come back in the game. So me, my cousin, and my other friends started it. We were on TV. So I just look at my phone one second. I had like 60 text messages like, yo, we just saw you on TV. Right after that, Harvey went in, blew the lead. Everybody was texting me like, the second we saw your face, we knew the Mets were going to lose.
Jinx.
You're a mush.
Ah.
Yeah, so I'm always known for jinxing the Mets now for that.
Oh, stop. Come on. Always got to keep the faith, bro. You're a fan. You're a diehard fan. Come on now. But so that must have been, I was going to ask, that was going to be my next question. Out of all the Met memories that you've had, you went to Shea, you went to Citi Field. What was going to be the best moment for you?
The best?
Yeah.
At Shea? I was at the game where Piazza got his number retired.
Okay.
That was pretty dope.
Okay, so you were there for that a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that was a couple of years ago.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah. Piazza being one of the reasons why you've been playing and following the Mets. And
yeah, so I actually met Piazza too. He's a good guy. I met Piazza. I did a podcast with Franco.
That's awesome. How is that?
Franco's my guy. He's a good guy. We actually connected through Carmine's, who owns a pizzeria down the block.
Mm-hmm.
And he's very big in the Italian American Baseball Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So like they're constantly raising money for baseball stuff in Italy, and he's like connected with all these crazy baseball players. You would actually like the events he throws. One year he did Bobby Valentine. One year he did Mike Piazza, and then the last one he did Joe Girardi. Like just gave him an award and all the stuff, and all the baseball players there are crazy. Like Nemo's been there 3 years in a row.
Right.
It's a good time.
Absolutely. John's got that history of going out there and doing some good things for not only the community, but just in the baseball community, but in the
Italian culture too. He's a Brooklyn guy.
Yeah, he's from over by Coney Island over there. So that's Bensonhurst. He's
one of us, He's a Brooklyn Italian guy.
Yep, he knows the deal. So there's a reason why he was the captain for the Mets for all those years. So it's pretty crazy. Sabino, moving on now from the Mets over to the Knicks. I know you said you're a Knicks fan, and there are plenty of Knicks fans out there that want to go out and they want to see the number 1 overall pick in the New York Knicks' hands. Okay, who do you want to see them take with the number 1 overall pick
This year?
If they get the number 1 overall pick, who do you see them take?
To be completely honest with you, I don't even like. Usually I like make that judgment during March Madness.
Right.
So I don't even know this year, to be honest with you. I mean, I heard a lot of rumors about LaMelo Ball, and I don't know. I don't like the family. I haven't seen enough of his game on a college level or anything because like they sent him to Europe last year. So
he's playing in Australia right now, so he's killing it over there.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I can't see. Like I would love to see him play college ball. Like I remember seeing R.J. Barrett, Zion,
right,
John Morant. Like I remember seeing these guys play against each other, and you could kind of like, it's a fair playing field, you know, to see. Okay, now how would that translate to with players better than them, you know?
Right.
But now it's like, you know, these guys are just like the guys that play in Lithuania. I'm not saying they're not good, but you know, they're not the best 17, 18-year-olds in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But also too, they're playing up against some grown men at that point in time that are like maybe 5-10 years older. And if they could go out there and just kill it, you know, give it some time being over here in the NBA. Look at so many European players coming over here and absolutely killing it. I know Kristaps Porzingis killed it.
Doncic.
Yes, Luka Doncic, you know. You get to see guys like Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili killing it over here back in the day.
That's a couple though, you know?
Yeah. But there's plenty of guys that come over here too and have limited success. But, you know, we'll see what happens as the NBA.
LaMelo's game is a little weird. Like he'll just like pull up from anywhere. I mean, that's the NBA now. Like he kind of reminds me of like a Steph Curry, Trae Young kind of player that will just pull up anywhere and shoot. But
and that's the style of the new NBA.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see.
That is definitely the new style of the NBA now, where you just pull up from three and just, you know, they make it with such consistency now that it's just taking like a mid-range shot.
Deeper than three, like 5 feet behind the three, you know?
Yeah, it's very deep, man. Sabino, how did you become a Knicks fan?
How did I become a Knicks? Oh, the 99 finals.
Just take us through it, man.
To be honest, before that, I was kind of a Bulls fan.
Oh, then the 30 for 30 right now is bringing back
I know. I can't wait to watch it tonight.
It's going to be fun tonight.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, man. I remember growing up, you know, 6, 7, 8 years old. You know, Jordan was in the prime. You know, I had Bulls bed sheets, Jordan all over my room. So, like, I kind of rooted against the Knicks when they were playing the Bulls when I was younger. I mean, I'm not going to lie.
You wanted to see – there's nothing wrong with that. You wanted to see Jordan go up there and just dominate.
And I was just young and, like, you know, you realize – I remember, like, some of my uncles and I remember watching playoff games. Like, I don't remember which games, but I just remember Knicks versus Bulls, like, happening and me watching it when I was, like, young. And I remember my aunts, like, family were like, you got to root for the Knicks. You're from New York. And I'm like, no, Jordan. So,
yeah.
You know, then the 99 finals happened. And I remember that whole playoff run, you know, Houston making that shot against the Heat, Pacers. I remember all these playoff series. And that's when I really became a Knicks fan, when we lost against Tim Duncan, that Spurs team.
Yep. Dave Robinson, Avery Johnson on that team as well.
Mario
Ellie, yeah.
Mario Ellie, I'm sorry.
It's okay. All good, man. All good. You know, but who was your favorite player on the Knicks during that time?
Probably Allen Houston.
Okay.
I didn't like Sprewell for some reason.
Fair.
I never liked Sprewell until he left. I was like, damn, he was good.
And he went over to Minnesota and played with the Minnesota Timberwolves. I remember that too.
Yeah.
Absolutely nuts, man. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
So, all right. So Houston's your favorite player. You remember the 99 Eastern Conference Finals, going into the 99 Finals, everything like that. Your current state of the Knicks right now. I know we talked about them again if they got the number 1 overall selection. But over the course of 20 years, it hasn't been that good. About, 2, 3 playoff appearances during that point in time.
One with Marbury and two with
03,
Miller.
04. Yep.
Yeah, right? Something like that.
Yeah, it was 03,
04.
04. 03, 04. Then it was, I think, the year that they got Amari and Melo. And then the year after that, 2012, they had like a 2-year, 3-year run in which they made it to the playoffs, but they lost in the
Well, we
second.
got bounced in the first round the second time.
Yes.
The second Melo time, I'm saying. But the first time we got to the Eastern Conference Finals, right? Against the Pacers?
I think it was the second because they went up against the Heat.
Yeah. Okay.
That was when Paul George was going absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
Roy Hibbert was being Roy Hibbert.
Roy Hibbert was looking like Shaq in that series.
Yeah, he was basically just owning
J.R.
his
Smith kind of killed us that playoffs because we had so much momentum in that Boston series, and then when he elbowed that guy, like the whole series changed. And then like we still won, but then like it just wasn't right. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. What do you think the Knicks, outside of like I said, we talked about the first round draft pick. What do you see the Knicks doing this offseason in order to try and get better? Because we've heard
one thing I will say is the 20 years I have been following the Knicks very closely.
Right.
We always made that trade that is stupid, and like you trade away picks for a win now player, and then it never works.
Right.
So like those trades we did with the Bulls, like we did that Eddie Curry trade that was crazy.
Yeah.
Just like, and you watch like a team like the Raptors, and their manager, their general managers, Usiri, what's his last name?
Mahai Usiri. Yeah.
Usiri. So like, he's like kind of fleeced the Knicks a couple of times too, but like when we traded gave him a pick for Bargnani. So like we never hit trades like that either. Like, kind of like trading a great player to get picks.
Right.
Like even Porzingis, like I feel like we didn't get crazy value for him. Like I knew he didn't want to be here and all that, but if only we like could have got a little more for him,
Yeah, even I don't want to be adding more salt to the wound here. Even Marcus Camby for Antonio McDyess.
Yeah.
And they traded away a draft pick too.
Nene Hilario too.
Yeah, the rights for Nene Hilario.
He was like a 7th or 8th pick or something.
Yeah.
He was late, but still like not that Nene Hilario. He's a good player, but just making trades like that,
Yeah.
At least the Knicks now are building. Like we got Ntilikina, Kevin Knox, R.J. Barrett.
Right.
I don't know what's going on with Knox and Ntilikina. Like I think they weren't the best picks, but they could be role players.
Yes.
We just need to hit a couple of home runs now.
Yeah.
Like, I think RJ's a real deal.
Absolutely.
We need one more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just
keep playing young. Galvanizing.
I'm happy that Kyrie and Kevin Durant, like they're great basketball players, but I can't see them both staying healthy. Like if the Nets win a championship, like I'm not a net hater. They are in Brooklyn, even though I hated them when they were in Jersey.
Yes.
I still like if the Nets did it, I'll kind of be upset it's not the Knicks, but at the same time, it is what it is. But I just don't see Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving working for the Nets. They're gonna have like 1 or 2 years to do it, and then it's gonna.
Yeah, that's just the way how the current NBA is with the contracts and everything like that going together. They're looking to try and get a third star in there. It's just absolutely unbelievable where they came from, though.
Yeah.
Right at that point in time, 4 years ago, where they had no first-round draft picks, and now they went out and they acquired, D'Angelo Russell, and they went to the playoffs. And now
that was crazy.
Yeah.
The fact they turned it around. I mean, if I was in the Nets shoes, I would have probably done the same thing because they're not going to get better through the draft.
Right.
So for the time being, this is what they have to do. But the Knicks should be doing the exact opposite. Stay young, keep the cap space. Julius Randle, I don't know why we gave him all this money when we could have played should play the young guys like Kevin Knox, even though he's not like doing amazing, like he's also not getting playing time like that either,
Right.
So you don't know what you got. So we kind of got to just throw these kids to the wolves, you know,
Mm-hmm.
get veteran players that'll start, and then Kevin Knox comes in for 20, 25 minutes, you know, instead of the 6 or 7 minutes he's playing, you know.
I tell you what, though, I like the Julius Randle signing just because of the fact that, number one, he played next to Kobe back when Kobe was still playing. He's got something to prove because of the fact that he's been through with all the injury history that he's had, but he has something to prove. So he's got that motor about him that wants to get better. And in this market, unfortunately, with the team that's in place right now, I feel for Julius in that sense. You know, I really do. But in that instance and in that situation, you know, he's, you know, with the contract that he's going out there and getting, again, you know, you guys see what happens over there with the Knicks. But in general, the Knicks have the pieces in place, but with the fan base, for me, it's just like, you want to win now. I get it. You want to win now.
But I think a lot of Knicks fans all understand. Like, we've been waiting so long, so
yeah. I mean,
we'll wait another 5 years, but give us a winner. You know what I mean?
I know. It's been since 1973 that the Knicks won the NBA Finals. So it's been a long, long time. Sabino, I know you mentioned too that you're a soccer fan. I know. Do you have a favorite player and do you have a favorite team?
My favorite team's Inter Milan.
Okay.
Favorite player, I mean, I basically watch a lot of Serie A, like the Italian league.
Mm-hmm.
So I really don't have a favorite player. I mean, I just like the players on Inter, but between like Messi or Ronaldo, you know, whatever, I don't watch either of them religiously like that, you know?
Okay. Hey, that's fair.
I think Messi's he's a crazy talent. You know, he's a little guy, and the things he does is crazy. Like, he's very comparable to Maradona that played for Napoli.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just being a little guy, so explosive. And Ronaldo is just a freak of nature. Like, he's kind of like the LeBron of soccer. Like, nobody trains harder than him.
Right.
So I also respect that, but like, I don't watch either of them religiously or anything, you know?
And when the time comes, you know, for the World Cup, I know you're probably rooting for Italy hard.
Yeah, I'm Italy. I'm definitely Italy fan.
Absolutely.
I'll take another Italy World Cup over Knicks, Mets, Jets, everything together.
Hey, listen, I remember when they won the World Cup and being in Whitestone, Queens, they shut down Francis Lewis Boulevard.
Yeah.
So it was just
whole city, yeah.
It was nuts. Anywhere that had an Italian population, it would just be like, boom, all right, the blocks are shut down.
That's how I got into soccer too. Like, those summers being a kid, and you see in Italy in the World Cup. And I remember like 98, I think it was 98 or 94, when Baggio missed the penalty. All my family was crying, and like, it happens every 4 years. So it's like, it just makes it that much more devastating when you get eliminated, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So when we won in 06, I remember like everybody going ballistic, you know?
Yeah.
And to be honest, World Cup soccer is the best. It's the best sporting event by hand. Like, it's 4 Super Bowls in one. That's literally what it is, you know? You know, one game, winner takes all. You know, and this year the Euro Cup got canceled.
Mm-hmm.
They're postponing it to 2021 because of what's going on. But yeah, I follow Italian national soccer very heavy. I'm always on the podcast with Italian Football TV. They're the only people that cover Italian soccer in English, if that helps you.
Yeah, no, that helps me perfectly on that one. It does.
So if anybody's like listening and they're interested, like, check them out. They drop a podcast every week, give fans updates, rumors, all that stuff, and they're close friends of mine. They're really cool. So
okay,
we collab on a bunch of episodes. Like, whenever we want to talk about, you know, the Italian national team, I get on a podcast with them and we release it on both platforms.
That's definitely good to know. You know, I'm trying to look into soccer as well. You know, just trying to go out there and try to follow. What's up?
Do you have a favorite soccer team?
like I said, it's only the 4 pro sports that I follow. I'm sure you've seen me on Instagram post about my Islanders and
I
Jets.
will tell you one thing though. ESPN Plus,
Right.
for $5 a month, you could watch any Italian game.
Really?
So I mean, once the games start again.
Okay.
So like you could watch Ronaldo, you could watch Inter. Now, just I don't know if you follow it like this, but Juventus won the league 8 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So like they've been dominating, but now Lazio and my team Inter are like right behind them, like 2 points and 3. Like it's right there. So like now's a perfect time to get into it because it's competitive.
Yeah, I totally get it.
And it might start before all our sports. So
yeah.
Something to look out to.
Hey, speaking of sports, when do you see sports starting up again? Do you see baseball starting up on July 4th? Do you see the NHL and the NBA coming back on June 1st?
Baseball is definitely not going to go this year.
Okay.
I have some inside information, but
okay.
Supposedly they're announcing it in June that they're going to throw out the season. I mean, they simply can't start a season. Like baseball, it already goes into the end of October and it's cold. So you can't make it go into December.
Mm-hmm.
That's not happening. You can't squeeze 162 games in a short period of time. These guys still got to go through a spring training, and this virus is still pretty much a threat. So you're going to be playing the games with no fans and isolate the players. Like baseball has a crazy players union, and they won't let that happen. So I think for baseball this year is done. Basketball, the only way they'll be able to do it is if they do the same thing. Or go to like Atlantis. I think I heard something like they were going to go to the Bahamas and Vegas, like something like that, like isolating completely. But at the same time, I think a lot of players would not want to do that and then not play with fans. So I think that might get pushed back. But soccer, I heard, is going to start in Europe soon. Like they had like a little date that they threw out there, and all the owners in the Italian league voted for them to finish the season.
Okay.
So
that's a very interesting story right there.
Yeah. So
very, very interesting. All right. So we covered baseball, we covered basketball, covered soccer. Let's talk about the other football that's going on. Yesterday, the NFL draft happened, and are you a Giant or Jet fan?
I'm a Jet fan.
You're like me. Okay.
I honestly, maybe you could tell me how we did in the draft because I only saw that we picked the lineman and I really didn't follow after that.
Right. Okay. So
you picked a receiver too, right?
They picked the receiver Denzel Mims in the second round. He wound up falling all the way to number 58.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard he was like a first round.
He was a first round talent, but he wound up falling down because teams got to take need at that point. And I get it.
We haven't had a really good receiver since like Keyshawn Johnson. I mean, we haven't had a star receiver.
Right.
Like,
hey, listen, I agree with you on that. But really, the Jets, the last time that they drafted a wide receiver with their first round pick was Santana Moss.
Yeah, he was good, but he was like a slot receiver.
Right. He was he had a long career. The man had a long career.
Yeah, he caught a lot of balls.
He did. Him, Lavernius Coles, Wayne Corbett, back in that, 01 to 2003 campaign, they wound up making it to the playoffs twice under that team. Mm-hmm. And then, you look at the teams that wound up going into the AFC Championship game twice.
We lost to the Colts, right?
Right, the Colts and the Steelers, in which they had Kotchery, they had Braylon Edwards, and they wound up trading for Santonio Holmes to come over here the second year. So, Jets got to get back to that. They've been building up on defense.
I mean, at least we got a guy to, kind of keep Darnold safe.
Yes.
Give Bella a hole, here and there.
Yep.
That helps. We definitely needed help on the line.
Bro, the Jets needed offensive line help in the worst way. They were ranked almost dead last.
Yeah, I know.
Offensive line rankings. So it's good to see a guy that's actually willing to build a team through the draft and trade down and seeing the patience of Joe Douglas. So, do you have?
How do you, I mean, at least Brady's out of the division now, though.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
Thank God. Now we just gotta get rid of Belichick. I don't know how. But
Well, he's got his dog on the computer. Just
I
as a
know.
joke.
I saw that. I had me cracking up. Honestly, I think Brady's an amazing player, but Belichick is definitely the mastermind. Like
Absolutely.
he did it. He didn't win the Super Bowl without Brady, but there was that year when Brady got hurt and he like killed it with Castle. He killed it with Jimmy G. Another paisan of ours. Brissett, he played a couple of games and he won. So it's like,
yep.
The Patriots are still going to be there, and I think Belichick has something to prove. To be honest with you,
He definitely does. He definitely does.
If he wins one without Brady, like nobody could ever say anything about him.
No. Then you put him
I'm a
as the
Patriot
greatest of
hater,
all
though.
time as a coach.
Like a lot of people that are like Patriot fans, I always talk smack to them. I'm like, you're a front runner. They're like, what do you mean? I've been a Patriot fan since 2005. Like,
Yeah. Or even when they made it to the Super Bowl against the Packers back in 1997, 96, 97. So it's, you got to be there through the thick, the losing years, everything like that. Many Jets fans have been through it. Do you have a favorite Jets memory?
Right now or ever?
Well, forever.
Testaverde was like a big, like when someone's Italian, they automatically like win points for me. So I remember that's how I became a Jet fan. Because Vinny Testaverde, Chad Pennington, Curtis Martin was a beast. He killed it for years. He's probably the best running back the Jets ever had. He was consistent every year, 1,000 rushing yards. Now like these guys play 3-4 years and then
that's it.
That's
it. Hall of Famer though, Curtis Martin is for sure, and not one of those runners that could ever you could ever talk about either. As far as like when you bring up the names of the greats that have played that position, he barely comes up. But yet, during the time that we grew up watching him, we got to see greatness.
He's not the greatest, but he's there somewhere, right. Top 15, top 10, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely.
As far as consistency, he's like top 5. Isn't he like top 5 in total rushing yards?
Yes, he is. I believe he was like 4th.
Yeah, I thought so too.
He was definitely 4th. So, Vinny Testaverde is probably your favorite Jet ever, I'm assuming. Okay.
I'm hoping Gary V actually buys the Jets. He always talks about it.
One day he will. He'll get him and a group of investors will.
Yeah.
I'll never doubt this guy.
When the Johnsons are ready to sell.
They'll do it. They're inherited with all the baby stuff that they've made over the course of their life.
They're good.
They'll be good. And Gary Vee will figure out a way to go out there and put it in. Who knows? Maybe the Jets will win a Super Bowl before they sell. So it's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be absolutely.
If the Jets won a Super Bowl, that would be crazy. I got a good question for you.
Sure.
What would be the crazier parade? A Jet Super Bowl or a Knicks Super Bowl?
You mean a Knicks?
I mean, I'll pick a parade. I'm sorry. A Jet Super Bowl
or a Knicks? That is a very good question. With the Jets, I mean, listen, the last time they won was in 1969 with Joe Namath and Don Maynard going out there and surprising everybody. The Knicks back in the 70s, but I'm going to have to go with the Knicks, I feel.
I think the Knicks too, because it's only like they're New York's team,
And not only that, many people play basketball in and around New York City. How easy is it to go out there and pick up a basketball and get you and 5 other people to go out there and play a 3-on-3?
Well, just me, just shoot by myself.
Exactly. Yeah. You could go out there, you get anybody to play, and that's where they get the draw and the allure from. And not only that too, but with the fans, I feel like with the Knicks, you look at Spike Lee, for example, him being the face of the Knicks, Gary Vee, and you have so many of these Knicks fans, these famous Knicks fans that come out. John McEnroe is another one as well. It's just one of those things, man, where if they did win a championship,
Mhm.
That would be the
Crazy.
craziest time, especially since it would be during the summertime as well.
Hopefully we get that after this. Is like this all happened for a Knicks championship.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. And just want to keep it on the Jets one more. Do you see the Jets winning the Super Bowl in 3 to 5 years?
No,
No, you don't?
I don't know. I mean, we have to have a couple more good drafts.
Absolutely.
I don't see it though. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully, Darnold definitely needs to progress a little bit too, because I think he actually regressed this year. Because the whole mono thing in the beginning of the year, we had a tough schedule, but we definitely needed to take a step forward before I could really say
Well,
yes.
well, this year's going to be even tougher because they got to go up against the AFC West and the NFC West.
I know.
So it's definitely going to be a trying of patience for every Jet fan out there. Believe me,
We got to get better.
I know.
So hopefully this receiver we drafted and the lineman we drafted, they help us out a little bit.
Absolutely, and you guys see what happens here too with Adam Gase and his system. So
Yeah, I don't know.
Mark,
I don't have any faith in him.
I know many people don't, but just got to go out there. You got to keep on believing.
Yeah, we gotta get a winner. We gotta get a winner coach. Like we always get these Mickey Mouse coaches, like their first stints. Like think about it. Our last 5 coaches, the best one was Rex Ryan.
Yeah.
Just
the second was Herm Edwards.
Yeah, and Herm Edwards. But
Eric Mangini.
That was a while ago, though, Herm, right? That's gotta be 12 years?
Yeah, well, it was been what? He coached in 2001, made it to 2004. Yeah, 2005, something like that.
Yeah. So that's a long time ago,
Yep. Because it's been
we
absolutely
never get that,
crazy.
We never get that the best coach or that winner in here, It's been a while.
They'll get it right soon. I think in the next 3 to 5 years they'll be fine, but we'll definitely see what happens there. Sabino, how do the people follow Growing Up Italian? How do the people follow you on social media?
They follow we're on Growing Up Italians on everything. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, every platform there is. If you follow them, you'll see me somewhere, I'll pop up somewhere. So follow those are more important,
Well, if people do want to follow the one and only
Sabino Curcio.
Sabino Curcio.
SABINO
Gotcha. Awesome, man. Awesome. Sabino, thank you for sacrificing some of your time.
No problem, man.
And coming
Stay safe in these crazy times.
Absolutely. Hey, by the way, are you, for all the essential workers out there, I know that, you have your deli open, everything like that.
Yeah, we're providing window service and deliveries, all that stuff, catering. We've been giving a lot of food to the front lines,
right?
Hospitals, etc., people like that. So, just go to Panini Shop, Anthony and Son Panini Shop, our website. You could download our app, order for pickup if you want to come by. I know there's not a lot of restaurants open like usual. So, if you need a meal, we're open, and we close on Sundays. So that's why I'm doing this podcast now. But
Sundays are great.
Saturdays. I gave everybody off on Sundays,
Yeah,
it's important we spend time with our family during these times.
That's definitely the main thing. Oh, one last question for you. You mentioned that you were a Bulls fan earlier.
Mm-hmm.
How hyped are you for tonight?
I'm hyped.
Because of this whole 30 for 30.
Yeah. That last week, the 2 episodes, I could watch them all right now. I thought, I don't know if it's because there's no sports, but it also is really good too. So, at least it's something new to watch. I already ran through all my Netflix resources. I just been playing video games and watching that on Sunday. So
I'll give you one quick one. Okay. I'm a diehard Islander fan. I love my Islanders. Go watch the 30 for 30 on John Spano and the mid-90s Islanders. You will love that. The guy almost bought you. Did you ever see that?
Those 30 for 30s are good. I watched a couple of them.
Did you see that one though?
No, I didn't see that one. I'll check it out.
Go see that one. You'll be amazed. You will be amazed at that one. I'll just leave it there.
There's a lot of good stuff. Like those 30 for 30s are all incredible. Like the Detroit Pistons. There's a lot of good ones. So I'll definitely like scroll through them and start watching them a little at a time.
Absolutely, man. Definitely go check out that 30 for 30 on John Spano.
Oh man.
Awesome, man.
Take
Sabino,
care.
thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate this. My partner and I really appreciate this.
No problem, bro. Best of luck.
Absolutely. I'll see you soon. I'll definitely come by the shop.
Sounds good, man. Anytime.
Right. Thank you.
Take
I'll
care,
talk
man.
to you soon. Be safe out there.
You too. Take care.
You too, man. Be good. Awesome. It's the one and only Sabino Curcio from Growing Up Italian podcast. Great interview. Great guy. Go out there, support Anthony and Son Panini Shoppe, and go out there and support the Growing Up Italian podcast. And, we got to do what we got to do. That's it. All right, guys. For Sabino and for everybody from the On the Board Sports team, Shawnee on the mic, I wish he was here for this interview as well, but he's got to take care of some stuff. So I'm your host, Will Trucci, logging out. We will talk to you guys soon. Peace out. Be safe. And for every essential worker out there, just be safe and, take care of us. Take care of everybody out there. You guys are doing a great job. And one day when this is all over, you guys will get your heroes welcome. Thank you, and God bless.